All right, it's Thursday, which means live video from IndieWeek.
Our weekly music report.
That's right. I'm Darryl Hurs.
I'm Cameron Carpenter.
And we do this every Thursday. We're just chatting until some people get online here.
Yeah. We've been really good about it, doing it every Thursday, too.
Trying.
We've been really consistent for the last 5 weeks, and now we're into March. It's going to snow. But we're trying to do this every Thursday afternoon around this time, just to keep you abreast of what's going on in the business, what's happening at IndieWeek.
And around Toronto, and
yeah,
and also hopefully some music business advice kind of stuff for indie bands.
Yeah.
So, to get started, what are we going to talk about first?
Well, we usually talk about what we did last week. Unfortunately, I didn't get out to see any bands last week, but I will make up for that on this weekend. Last week was all about, it's about the TFC getting through the next round of CONCACAF. I know you don't care, but there's so many people in the music business who follow football, not this football, the real football. So congrats to the TFC for getting through the next round, and they have their season opener on Saturday, actually. And I'm glad we're doing this right now because Arsenal's getting thumped by Man City. But the thing that you love outside of music is food.
Yeah, I went and I ate at a couple places. I was hoping to catch some bands. Went to a place called Salt on Ossington and went across the street to Painted Lady for a little bit. And then bands are just finishing there, so I kind of caught like the last song.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday I went to Hogtown Smoke, which is just the new Hogtown Smoke, which is just off of Church, and it's actually really quite good. And I was hoping to catch some bands, but I found out that they only do bands on Friday and Saturday. I was there on Sunday. So, but just note, Hogtown Smoke has live music now, Fridays and Saturday.
They have fantastic food, too. The original one opened in the beach. It's still there. I just love those platters and their cornbread. And it's some good, tasty barbecue.
It was good. But maybe this weekend I'll hit it up for the music, too.
There you go.
See what the venue's like, because it's in the basement. So, one thing I was going to say before we go on to the next thing is I always do a quick shout out to Hop City, to Jack Daniels, and to Slaight Music for being our main sponsors, which lets us do this kind of stuff all year round. So, and we'll talk about Hop City in a bit. But,
actually, we should mention Slaight. It's your shot. I think applications close on March 15th. So go to our website. There's a click-through banner there for It's Your Shot for Slaight. If you're an aspiring artist, there's lots of amazing prizes to be won, and the deadline is very soon.
And Slaight is an amazing company. And that's canada.indieweek.com. And if you scroll down, you'll see ad banner for It's Your Shot.
Yeah, that's after you hit canada.indieweek.com apply for IndieWeek.
You could do that too.
You could do that too, yes.
All right, so shows?
All sorts of shows. There's all sorts of shows tonight. Our friends from Saskatchewan, Autopilot, are in town over at the Hideout.
Yes.
Marlon and the boys have played our conference many a time, and they're just a great rock and roll band. They just got back from a tour of the States, played New York, played Jersey, and well worth checking out. Yeah,
I was talking to Marlon a little bit yesterday. We were hoping he was going to stop by, but want to just make sure everybody knows, yes, tonight at the Hideout.
Yeah. Also tonight, it's almost like alumni week or alumni night for IndieWeek at the Horseshoe. It's tonight the shoe is Goodnight Sunrise, the Honeyrunners, Dead Projectionists, and Jessica Speziale. Speziale.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
And do I say it?
Yeah, you can say it.
And also Dylan Hennessy's, who's always been playing with us for many years at IndieWeek, is now in the band Goodnight Sunrise.
I wonder if he's going to use that rocking gold guitar that he had at the shop he was putting on Facebook the other week.
Probably.
Yeah. It would look good.
So that's a pretty smoking lineup at the Horseshoe tonight, I would say.
And you can walk from the Horseshoe to the Hideout as well. So and I think there's a 4 a.m. license at both, if I'm not mistaken. I know there is at the Hideout.
Probably a Hideout. I don't think Horseshoe.
No.
Okay. They usually don't do that stuff.
If you're in Montreal tonight, Single by Sunday are playing at Crowbar. And of course, they're going to play tomorrow night. This just got added at the Hideout after the bout. So around 1 o'clock, Single by Sunday, who are our best international emerging artists from last year at IndieWeek from Glasgow. And then they're going to play Saturday night at Kensington Hall. which will be 8 o'clock, and that'll be an all-ages show as well. So all the kids who want to go see Single by Sunday, they can do that Saturday. The adults can go to the Hideout tomorrow night at 1 a.m.
Yep. They're a really entertaining band, so if you can check them out.
Yeah, they're going to be a big band, yeah.
So, and they have like massive social media following.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, they work really hard.
All right. And
we've got our lineup for next Thursday night at the Ballroom Bowl, where we're the third Thursday of every week, or every month, sorry. We're presenting 2 or 3 artists in conjunction with Mill Street, trying to support local talent. There's no cover, which is great. It's a great room upstairs. It's in the heart of downtown Toronto. We've got Susie Corey, Tree Museum, and Jeff Blackwood.
That's right. And again, this is a night that we're trying to get going for the Ballroom. But the one thing to note is that all the bands get paid. So this is something that you guys got to come out and support because it can grow into something else. And if that night becomes successful, potentially another one, and so on. And again, it's free cover, and all the bands get paid. So it's a really good thing to do, is just come out and support it.
Yeah.
So, and then coming up, I guess this is next weekend?
Yeah.
Right? Is Hop City, our sponsor, is launching a series of shows throughout the year. And the first one is next Friday, and I believe that's at Cherry Colas.
That's Cherry's, yeah.
And the night after that, next Saturday, is at the Paddock. Mm-hmm. So we'll put the links to the events just so you can see the lineup of all the bands. But again, another night that is supporting independent music, and go out, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's some great bands, you know, on the Friday night, Little Boxer, the Alpacas, Civilian Weapons, and then Saturday, Johnny Starks, Flight 97, Sam Drysdale, and Young Honey. So,
yes.
Excellent bands right across the board.
Yeah. I'm for sure going to be out March 10th at the Paddock.
Yeah.
And Paddock has some great food now.
Yes. Always has, actually. I usually have many a late night meal at the Paddock during IndieWeek, because the kitchen's open very late and the food is fantastic. Thank you, Nico.
Yeah, they've been putting out more food and cocktail specials. Like there's happy hour deals now.
Yeah, it's a great old. I think it's the second oldest bar in Toronto, so it's a great little room right at the corner of Bathurst and Queen. So. And of course, we had a Brazilian guest last week, and we have some Brazilian guests coming to Ontario. Trampa is coming back. They're going to have a CMW showcase, and they'll also be playing shows around Southern Ontario, which we'll be announcing shortly, all the venues and where they will be playing.
Yeah, and but yeah, CMW is going to be a big one, and we're working on a tour with them. We just haven't been able to announce it yet.
Yeah,
soon,
very soon.
Soon.
Of course, I do my book of the week. Oh, we do. No, we're going to start a new thing as well. We're going to do video of the week.
Yeah, we were talking, and we're going to be talking about a video and posting a video. So, because there's just a lot of content and there's a lot of good stuff. Yeah,
and it's hard to find things all the time without hearing about them. So our video of the week this week is Your Chemistry by our friends Cable Street from Alberta. Very simplistic, but I think very creative, very imaginative, and a great song. So hats off to Cable Street for their great new video.
And what's it called again?
Your Chemistry.
Right. So again, we'll put the links down right underneath.
Yeah. Okay, so we do, now we have video of the week. I also do a book of the week. I talked about this about 6 months ago when it first came out, probably closer to a year ago when it first came out. But our friend Jeff Woods, who has spoken at Indie 101 with us, radio, records, Rockstars. It's Jeff's life as a radio announcer and also as a record company executive at Sony, where I worked at one point. Really good read, lots of interesting stories about great artists, you know, Bowie, U2, Slash, just really good stories. It's funny, the front cover of this is the basement of Derek Giles' house, who used to be in Images in Vogue, and now he's enslaved to the Square Wave. He's the new drummer, and they're actually playing tomorrow night at the Cadillac. So,
nice.
Fun band to go see.
And speaking of the Cadillac, it's changing ownerships or closing. I saw a post from Sam, and they're going to be doing a big party soon.
Yeah, I think it's April 9th and 10th. They're going to do a couple days, and Sam actually just was the original owner of Graffiti's as well, which just closed. So, but Sam is promising that for the foreseeable future, the new owners of the Cadillac will keep live music alive.
Great.
at the venue, which is great. It's a
Yep.
great venue way out on Queen Street West. So
Cool.
And then you wanted to talk about
There's a few things going on. I always try to talk a little bit about some advice and tips, things for bands, and I've been working with a cool band from Ottawa called Double Experience, and if you check out their feeds, they were just in Europe for a month, opening for Head P, and they're playing tomorrow night in Ottawa. And one of the things I stress for bands is you have to sell out shows. And really impressed with the guys. I was talking to Ian yesterday, and it's looking like this is their second sold out show in Ottawa. And man, this band is gaining momentum. More offers are coming down their way, better shows, better tours, and a lot of it is just doing hard work, so that hard work and selling out a show. And that's what creates momentum. And one of the things that we talked about is I find what works best for bands is find a home base, a place you can sell out all the time, right? And what tends to happen is a discussion is, oh, well, we've done that a couple times. Should we go to a bigger venue? And the answer I say is no. You should keep selling out because it's, one, safe, and if anything, just add a second show at that same venue. And plus, you get to know a venue so well that if they have a special event going on, you're the band they'll call. If they have a headline kind of act coming through, they're probably going to want you on the bill. If there's a festival going on in the city at any point in time, they're going to want you on the bill. So it just makes a whole lot of sense to make your business easier. And then instead of focusing so much on that in your hometown, it allows you to actually focus on marketing and touring and putting all that stuff together, because that takes up so much time. But I just wanted to shout out to Ian and Brock of Double Experience, James as well, because man, they're killing it, and if all bands could kind of take a look at what they're doing and go, yeah, we should sell out our shows or increase our attendance and all that, it's just good for the entire scene.
Yeah. Have a game plan.
Always.
Break it down by the year, in quarters or whatever, where you want to play, how many shows you want to play, how the tour is going to route, your social media strategy. Have a game plan to make it work.
Yeah, it's as a band, you should be looking, have your plan out for 18 to 24 months. You shouldn't be going month by month or a couple months ahead. It should be 18 to 24 months. There's always often talks of lack of money. So the thing is, you have to go after grants and after funding. And a lot of times when you're putting in the grant application, it might be asking for, what are you doing 12 months from now? And if you don't have the plan, you're not going to get the money or the grant. So that part's really important. And plus, then you can track your success and use data and tell if things are better or worse. The one thing when I've worked with bands and it's at the same venue, we could say if, were ticket sales up 10%, and the variables are very much the same because it's at the same venue, as opposed to, well, it was at a 500 capacity venue one time, it was at a 200 capacity another, it was at a place on the East End, place in Central, West End, and all that stuff. It's just really too hard to track your career when it's so different all the time. And when you end up being very successful at that one venue, then all of a sudden you can pretty much get away with almost anything at that venue. Like, you ask for a date, they might push whatever was already booked there to have you because they know that bar sales are going to be there. So it just makes it so much easier. I can't stress it enough. And when I've worked with bands, it's worked every time, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, and track your merch, what's working, what's not. Are you selling CDs? Is it worthwhile? Are you putting with download cards or stickers, buttons? What's selling, what isn't? And keep on top of your inventories. Yeah,
the main thing is just eliminate all variables. And the one thing, and I get it, where when you're an artist, you're very creative and you want to try new things all the time. But when you're a new artist starting out, it's a very fragile career until you have a solid fan base. That's the time to start trying stuff out. So build a solid fan base first, build a network first, build stability first as much as you can, and then start trying some of the other stuff. And you may have heard, like, I always equate the music business to like hockey, because we're Canadian. And if you think of it, the Toronto Maple Leafs wear the same uniform almost every time. They have a home and away, and there's a couple alternatives, but they're known as blue and white. And they play at the ACC every single time. And when you eliminate all the variables, then you can create marketing things like fan appreciation night, or a special VIP package, and all that kind of stuff. And that's where you can get more value, which means you sell at a higher ticket price and you make more money.
Sound check party, meet and greet.
Meet and greets, yeah. You know, daytime listening party, anything like that, like anything that's special.
Exclusive video content, you know, give it to your fans first. We were talking about another band who have done that. So
yeah. So anyways, just shout out to Double Experience for doing such a great job. Proud of you guys. And if you are watching this, go over to check out Double Experience and see what they're up to. They just released another single, AI Scares the Hell Out of Me, I think it's called. The one thing about Double Experience is they call themselves geek rock, and a lot of it is themed around games. They were also in... they placed a song in a game called Destiny as well. But yeah, it's all geek rock, as they say. Yeah, AI Freaks Me Out. That's the name of the song.
And if you want to check them out live, it's tomorrow night in Ottawa, and I believe it's at the Elgin.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cool.
A little bit of news, I guess. Congratulations to Arcade Fire, who are going to be given an International Award of Merit at the Junos on Saturday, March 24th. They'll get the award, and they'll be playing the show the next night live from Vancouver, which is fantastic. One of the great live bands out there, in my opinion. I love Arcade Fire, and don't know why their last album got dissed so much, because I think it's probably their second best album. So.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
I like it a lot. And actually, the night before that, Saturday, March 24th, will be Lights Out, which we are doing again this year. So check our website, and we'll have information of who's playing where at various different venues from 8:30 to 9:30 by candlelight.
Right. Yeah, it'll be on a Mill Street website, which is not launched yet.
Okay.
So, not our site.
Yeah.
Mill Street site.
Okay.
Yeah.
But coming shortly. We'll have all that information. We'll put a link to the Mill Street site so you can see who's playing where. The budget came down yesterday. I know that the federal budget, SEMA was looking for some money, $5 to $7 million, I believe, to help independent music sector across Canada. Unfortunately, those funds were not to be found, which is too bad. But the government did donate $5 million to the Gord Downie Cheney Wenjack Fund, which is fantastic as well for all the work that Gord did, and happy for them.
Yep. Well, you go on with that.
Okay. There's an IPO coming out for Spotify for $1 billion. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Well, I think Spotify is just starting to make moves to go to the next level. You know, and there's been talks about how Spotify or streaming services are starting to save music. Like there's new income streams that didn't exist before. Mm-hmm. And there's been a couple, actually I saw some articles online where how streaming services have changed how some artists are releasing music. There is an article that I read online the other day where, especially in the urban market, is that the albums that they're releasing are longer in runtime than it has been before, and part of it is they just want people to stream more and longer.
Interesting.
So write longer songs or have more songs, like 22 songs on an album or something like that, so that there's more streaming. and sometimes in that case they'll release a whole bunch of songs, and a lot of them are really short. But again, it's clicks and streams, which means more money if it gets to a certain point. So like if an artist like Drake releases an album and it's like 22 songs, then there's more opportunities for him to make money just through streaming.
Right.
So that's one of the things that I noticed online just the other day. So kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Spotify has new income streams, and artists should be rocking that stuff. Like,
yeah.
Killing it.
And we have, every Tuesday, we release 2 Spotify playlists, which you can go to our website. There's a playlist you can just click on, and our 2 new playlists will come up every Tuesday, which is always good listening. Congratulations to Bell Media and The Launch, which has got picked up for worldwide rights, and there will be a Launch UK, which will be the next in the series. So
That's
very
nice.
good news for them.
Yeah. And another thing that's kind of not as much music related, but kind of, is the movie Black Panther is doing killing all box office everywhere. And another income stream for artists is music placement. So that soundtrack is doing really well as well.
Yeah.
So it's another income stream is go after getting your music placed in movies. And we've got things like Canadian Music Week coming up, and they'll have panels on sync and licensing. We talk about it all the time. Is like you got to go to these things. That's where you meet the people that will help you get there, or at least give you advice.
Yeah,
So-
and of course we have a sync panel every year at Indie 101 as well. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, there is a lot of money to be had there. Yeah, the soundtrack is through the roof with Kendrick Lamar and everyone else. It's just like it's the biggest streaming soundtrack there is in existence right now. It's absolutely phenomenal.
And you think some of these artists that are like really big, the reason why is they're getting money from live performances, from sync license deals, from streaming. Like there's many pieces of the pie to bring money in on, and I think as an independent artist, the more you spend on building that process early, the faster you'll create many ways to make a little bit of money. And it may be just a little bit from each, but it all adds up.
Yeah, there's sync money for as you mentioned with Double Experience. There's sync money from games as well. If you get you get a song on an EA game or whatever, there's some big money there. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's pretty well a wrap.
So a couple things that we haven't said, but we kind of touched on is the applications are opened for IndieWeek UK and IndieWeek Canada. I believe today is the last day for the super early bird in UK, so it's only like $10, but it's only, just note, UK is for UK and European artists. Canada is open internationally. So uk.indieweek.com/apply or canada.indieweek.com/apply.
Yeah.
And, again, we're an artist-friendly festival. Last year we had 320 bands in Canada, and we have so many things in the works for this year. New stuff and a lot more international. There's lots of stuff coming up. So.
Yeah, and the early bird for Canada ends on March 27th.
Yeah, not the super early bird.
Yeah,
Just
the early bird. The regular
next
early
price.
bird.
Yeah.
Yes, then the prices go up again. And as always, please follow us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
IndieWeek, Indie
Especially
101.
Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. All right, so I believe that's it for this week.
Yeah.
We'll
Thanks.
talk to you next week.
Thanks as always, and go see a live band.
Yes.
Bye.
And there.